Welcome back then. As promised, let's get chatting with the management of Jindal Stainless. Remember, they reported a good quarter and there was a big rebound that we saw. The margins were back to double digits. The company also managed to repay debt in FY21 to the tune of nearly around 400 crores so far. We have Mr. Anurag Mantri, the Group CFO, who joins us. Hi, Mr. Mantri. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, it was a good quarter, but let's get the outlook as well. At the halfway mark, you've done around 320,000 in terms of sales volumes. So what is the outlook for the year? What can you end this year with? And also in terms of EBITDA per ton, you were telling us last time around you're looking at improvement, but you've clocked a number in excess of 15,000 rupees per ton. Given that nickel prices have gone up as well, some of the input costs are up, can you maintain this number of close to around 15,000? Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think if you recall last time the Q1 results, we guided you that overall still we are seeing a good V-shaped recovery, and based on that we expect the year to close down by not more than 10 to 15% down what we clocked in FY20. So it means that around 775, 780,000 per ton we can still do in this year itself. Depending, because Q1 was very low, but now we are seeing a good sharp recovery. So we still hope that at least not more than 10% or 15%, 10 to 15% down from the last financial year number. In terms of EBITDA per ton, we guided you, we continue to maintain our guidance of 12,500 to 14,500 average range, because and overall we should see an average, because suddenly we saw spiked up in underlying metal prices, so there is always some time lag into when nickel increases to get it to the pass down to the customer. But overall we continue to maintain on a full year basis we should be in the range of 12,500 to 14,500 EBITDA per ton.
Okay, which is what you told us last time. So you're sticking to that guidance on EBITDA per ton. So that clears it out. I mean, you're saying sales should not be lower by more than 10 to 15% of last year. Now that brings me to the other point that Nigel raised, Mr. Mantri. You're saying that there could be some sort of a reorganization or some sort of restructuring of the company's stainless steel business. Tell us more about it. What exactly are you thinking? What will that do to debt levels? I mean, what sort of a strategic initiative could you be looking at, and what's the rationale?
Okay, so I think what board has decided, they have empowered the committee and to look out for all the options of restructuring and merger, demergers, all those options. Because if you recall, per se, the group has two entities into the stainless steel business right now. And both are listed entity, and from lenders also there are certain common lenders. So we are looking at various options how to bring synergies to in the best interest of all the stakeholders, especially the lenders and the minority shareholder, to clarify that because right now sometimes remains a confusion which entity to that, and reduce the related party transaction and group level balancing. So we are looking at all the options. I think by end of this financial year, this committee will come out with the clear recommendations of the way forward, and we'll take it to the board appropriately.
Okay, so help us understand this. The net debt right now is around 3,200 crores. How much of the debt, I mean, I don't know if you can segregate and give us a figure right now, how much is coming in from the stainless steel business where the reorganization could happen? I'm just trying to figure out if some portion of the debt is going to move out as and when this plan gets on the road.
No, so the entire debt is of stainless. We are into mainly stainless steel business, so entire debt pertains to stainless steel business of 3,200 crore. Having said that, this includes the 900 crore of debt from our other group company which are also into stainless steel. So depending on the kind of scheme which we come out, there could be a netting off of those debts. But I think it's a bit premature. But overall, the entire debt is 3,200 crore, which include 900 crore of group company debt.
Okay, all right. I think another trigger that we were waiting for is to get out of the CDR. Now that's happened. So what is the current cost of borrowing for the company that we're talking about, Jindal Stainless? I think in your reorganization, Jindal Stainless, Hisar and Jindal Stainless is likely to come together. But let's focus on Jindal Stainless for now. If you could tell us, what is your cost of borrowing? What was it earlier? And also by the end of this year, purely for Jindal Stainless, what should the debt number come down to? Go ahead.
Okay, so Nigel, the current cost of our earlier cost of borrowing was almost close to 11.5% plus, which has now come down to less than just below 11%. And and as the performance improves, we hope to increase our rating and to bring it down further. That is, I'm talking about mostly the long term. If I put up the blended cost of including the working capital, it's around 10%. Now, in terms of the debt level for this entity, at the end of this year, we expect to close at around 3,100 crore. Because most of our debt repayments happens in the H1, and despite COVID, actually we have repaid almost 300 crore of debt during this period. So maybe another 100 crore reduction, because I'm saying on a net basis, because there would be some partial increase on our working capital utilization, which were currently at low level because of the lower volumes.
Okay, all right. Just to get that number right, so you said you were borrowing earlier at 11.5% and it's likely to come down to around 10%?
The long-term cost will come down just to below 11%, and overall, if I include the working capital, its blended cost is 10%, which was earlier around 10.8, 10.9%.
Okay, just a quick question and follow up with what Surabhi had asked you. When you're going to be doing this reorganization, you'll have said there are various synergy benefits. Can you quantify that number? If both these two companies come together, what could be the synergy benefits on the operational front, and also how does it help in terms of lowering the cost of debt?
See, Nigel, it's a bit premature because the committee still has to look at all the options. So I think it's premature to say how this will shape it up.
Okay.
I think give us some time, because the board has just assigned us with the mandate, and we will come out with the recommendation.
How much time does the committee require, Mr. Mantri?
I think not more than beyond end of this financial year, but I think our endeavor, this is on our top priority. I think before end of this financial year, we'll surely come out with the clear plan and the overall way forward.
Okay, all right, Mr. Mantri. So we look forward to talking to you when exactly you come out with that plan. For the time being, you've had a good past quarter and you're sounding reasonably optimistic about the way ahead as well. Thanks so much for stopping by and in fact giving us all those details. The stock is under pressure today, but like a lot of those stocks, it's seen a big run in the last month and a half to around 2 months. You'll pull up a wider time horizon and you'll see that Jindal Stainless is a stock that's seen a run. And also keep an eye out, if they're going to be doing a rejig, then Jindal Stainless Hisar, that's the other company as well that you'll have to keep an eye out on them. So
okay, we'll watch out for that, and that's what he said, that maybe some of the debt that is part of the group companies, 900 odd crores,
yes,
maybe that gets netted off depending on what plan they go with. Let's move on now and shift the focus to our special segment where